Dad and I are working together on this rebuild of Nottingham Forest. Dad is going to be the manager of Forest, meaning he is in charge of the overall squad selection and the tactic we play. Meanwhile, I'm going to be the director of football and I will be in charge of the transfers into the club, who we sell, and of course renewing contracts. So let's see how we work as a partnership at Nottingham Forest across 5 seasons. Well, Dad, the roles have been reversed. This time round, I am your director of football and you are the manager of Nottingham Forest. So we're basically Clough and Taylor.
Well, I was just about to say, yes, young man, you will buy who I tell you to buy.
Who's that? Is he a Dalek?
That's a good impression
of a Dalek. Brian Clough, that's a great impression. I don't know how Peter Taylor spoke, so I'm not going to bother. I only remember watching him in the film.
He never used to speak, mate.
Well, he didn't even get a chance, probably.
No, he didn't.
But anyway, that's kind of the idea that I had here. Taylor used to find a lot of these players for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And allow Clough to kind of be the manager of it, as is just an assistant.
And if you listen to a lot of the videos coming out now, or YouTube things about the old Nottingham Forest players, they used to go to Brian's house.
Yeah, exactly.
And be interviewed and asked if they would sign for him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which is quite funny, really, when you hear about that.
Turning up at your house to see if you would want to play for them. Anyway, the first season, we had a bit of money, so I did buy a player, Miguel Gutierrez. Now, we are using the updated database, which does give Nottingham Forest some money. £30 million is roughly what we had, to be fair, because I used all of it. And I brought in the 22-year-old left-back, Miguel Gutierrez.
Good start.
As I think that is the main weakness that they had in terms of a missing position.
Yeah.
The only one they have is on loan from Aston Villa. So I thought it would be a good signing to bring in, and you decided to go for a 4-3-3 to kick things off.
Yep, I'm quite pleased with this, really. The players that we've got in these positions, some good ones, quite strong in defence. I think we're going to be, so that's what I like to be. Strong, hard to beat. You've got a good left back for us, so that's what it's all about. I think if we can build from the back and be very strong at the back, then further down the road, a couple more seasons, we can get the bigger players up front.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the minute, he's actually putting Alex Moreno in the lineup, but no, he's no way as good as Gutierrez, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's a good base to start off with. Obviously, Forest kind of playing a 4-2-3-1 because they have the likes of Gibbs White, who plays in behind the striker, but I definitely think this is a really good option as well. You got the Ward-Prowse in on loan this season as well. I think their midfield's solid.
That Ward-Prowse is going to be a big help with set pieces and things like that.
Yeah.
And corners and that. That's what he's good for.
The only thing I'm thinking, though, is hopefully he's not too good, because if we can't get him next season on a permanent deal, we've got to replace that kind of role.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And I do think if you want to progress as a Nottingham Forest squad, you need to start improving this front three after the first season. But for now, Jota Silva, Hudson-Odoi and Awoniyi are quite good. Awoniyi's got 3 goals already.
He's a beast, isn't he?
He is, to be fair. Yeah, he's got a couple of weaknesses. Composure's obviously the main one. If he had high composure, he'd be one of the best players in the game, arguably. But yeah, he's already decent and he's already wanted, which I was tempted, but I was like, no, there's nobody around that I would think he would be a good replacement right now.
If he can have a good season, you could be asking the 30 million for him, I think.
Yeah, maybe even more. Who knows? So let's see then how that's been playing out. Dad's tactic with my transfers. We've started off very well indeed. It was a loss, actually, to West Ham, but we didn't have James Ward-Prowse, of course. You couldn't play against them. Weren't allowed to play. No. So that's probably the reason why, because after that, when he came back, we won the next 2 games against Wolves and Southampton. 2 great results for us. And 1 year, the 95th minute there against Southampton, crushing their dreams. He even scored in the first game as well. And then a win against Sheffield Wednesday in the EFL Cup second round. So it has been a good start.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that.
Not too bad at all. We're 6th place in the league as our partnership, this rebuild for Nottingham Forest. Let's see how the first season pans out. Alright, first season, 5th place.
I'll definitely take that.
And we've only just dropped out of 4th on the final day of the season to Tottenham. We were 4th for a long time. In fact, at some points, we were even 2nd. It was an unbelievable season. Liverpool ran away with the title in the end. They only lost 3 games. We ended up losing 10, unfortunately, as you can see with these games here. But only one of them was at home to Manchester City.
Drew our last 3 games. That's what cost us 1 place, really.
It did. So, and we drew against some of the big boys as well. So I'm quite happy with that, really.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you should be too, yeah.
I mean, to be honest as well, I'm happy to be in the Europa League rather than the Champions League. I think it's too early for us to be in the Champions League.
Absolutely. Gives you a chance to win a trophy for sure. So I think that's got to be our target.
Yeah.
Our target has got to be early doors. Let's get in a European competition, win one, and then by the end of the 5 years, be a mainstay in the Champions League.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think as a partnership, we can do it. But Awoniyi, 25 goals this season.
Is that the good season that we needed him to have?
Yeah, he did.
Up to 40 odd million.
Very good. Up to 40 to 45 million. Maybe it is time to cash in on him. So he's had a good season.
In our team, shall we?
Yeah, we'll bring him in, who is, not for sale. What a shock. I don't think I've ever seen him move on this game. No, he just retires there. It's boring, really. I want a randomizer on Football Manager. That would be much more fun. Awoniyi's done very well. We've done very well. We've qualified for the Europa League next season with 70 points. Very good from us indeed. And let's see how we did in the Cups. It's a quarter-final exit in both.
2 quarterfinals. All right, we'll take that.
In the FA Cup, it was Everton who knocked us out 3-1. Plymouth Argyle went to the semi-final, by the way. We got very excited. Lost to Liverpool. It was a Merseyside derby final.
Oh,
and it was a 7-1 Liverpool.
That wouldn't have gone down well, would it?
God. Quarter-final by Brentford, 1-0. That's disappointing, unfortunately. Tottenham Hotspur went on to win that one. They stopped Liverpool from winning the treble.
Yeah.
So that's good, because we never would have heard the end of that one. Let's have a look then at the rest of the players in terms of statistics even. Awoniyi got 28, but we mentioned Morgan Gibbs-White. He played from centre midfield on attack, or that attacking centre midfield spot, and he did really well.
Yeah.
12 goals, 10 assists. Very good indeed. Jota Silva had a good season as well on the right-hand side, 11 and 11. Elanga was a bit part player on the left with Hudson-Odoi. They both kind of contribute the same amount, really. Can't work out who's going to be the better player in terms of them. But I think defensively, the likes of Milenkovic was really good. How much are we going to miss Ward-Prowse, though? 17 assists, and he's valued at a very high amount. We don't have a buy option.
We ain't buying him away.
I cannot see us buying him, Dad. No, and that is because I have been given 50 million. We could. It's how much you value bringing in a 29-year-old Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
But that's not your decision. That's my decision. So we'll have to find out who I decide to bring in the transfer window for you to use in Season 2. Now, with the delay of Football Manager, I'm throwing a lot of new databases, a lot of things to download to make the game as up-to-date as possible. But that means your internet daddy has come back to tell you again, you need to use protection when you're traveling the internet. And that's thanks to NordVPN. Now listen, I know it's not cool, I know it's not hip, but NordVPN is here to make sure that you don't get your internet pregnant with some malware. Is that too far? Have I taken the analogy too far? Anyway, within that time, I've managed to locate Toronto in Canada. It's not in the US, and I'm connected, which means now my IP address is connected via Canada. But what is it going to cost me, you ask? Don't panic whatsoever. It's actually really cheap, a lot cheaper than what you think, and using my code at nordvpn.com/OmegaLuke, links at the top description, you also get an extra 4 months on a 2-year plan. Genuinely, it's the price of one coffee. But I get it, you need some more convincing, and this is where the ads and tracker blocker comes in, because I clicked on this to see what different website was attacking me this morning. I've barely even been on my PC, and you could already see Google Drive, YouTube, Fiverr.com. I ain't even been on that website today. I don't know why it's attacking me, but it is. But thanks to NordVPN, it ain't doing anything about it. Malware blocked. Now, of course, we all know the protection side of it is not the fun reason to get NordVPN. The fun reason to get it is obviously better Netflix, and sometimes you can watch some football matches that you can't watch in the country which is taking place. But that's where NordVPN comes in and makes you even happier. So why not get NordVPN? Go down to the link at the top of the description, nordvpn.com/OmegaLuke. You're supporting me by helping yourself, and you get an extra 4 months off of a 2-year plan. Don't be silly. Listen to your internet daddy and get protection. Right, Dad, Awoniyi has left the club. I cashed in. He went to Saudi Arabia. I think it was a good move, in all fairness. £36 million I got from him in the end.
Yeah.
Might not be as much as what we maybe had hoped.
No, he looked like he was in the 40s, didn't he? So, but yeah, that's still a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree. But I think I've replaced really well. I think I've brought in a better player.
Hope you have.
Because I brought in Emmanuel Omega, 21-year-old Dutch striker. Very similar style of player, if I'm honest. That very tall,
very quick,
6'5", very quick. Likes to beat the offside trap. Good finisher of the ball.
Yeah, he knows where the net is.
Very good off the ball as well. I mean, he started off with 6 goals in 4 games.
I do like this then.
Yes. Great signing. He wasn't the first signing of the window, though, because Abiri Esse from Crystal Palace, who I think
Good
were
midfielder.
relegated as well. Are they in the... Yeah, they were relegated. So it was one of those ones capitalising on a relegated side, bringing in what I think is one of the Premier League's most exciting players.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. 2 goals in 4 games as well, so
Yeah.
he's hit the ground running.
Yeah, 26 years old, so he's in his prime years now, and as you can see by his attributes, as I mentioned, very creative type of player, starting off the season very well, almost better than what he has done in the whole of last season already. Abiri Eze, cracking signing.
Well
then,
done.
Marcus Edwards, £25 million. Actually, he's an English player from Sporting, so if you remember rightly, you should know him, Dad, when he was in the Spurs Academy.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, you always spoke about him.
Yeah.
So he's a good player,
Future
plays
one coming
naturally on
through.
both wings. Yeah, plays naturally on both wings, but he's left-footed, so cutting in on that right-hand side, he's really good. But as we mentioned, the front three did need a little bit of work from last season.
Yeah.
I think this guy could be the one to help us out and give us some more goals. Haven't replaced James Ward-Prowse in terms of a creative player who, you know, takes all the set pieces. Maybe that's Eze. I mean, he's quite good at corners, not as good as Ward-Prowse, obviously, but not bad at free kicks. Maybe he brings some assists where Ward-Prowse wasn't on the pitch.
That's right, yeah.
That's what we've got to hope
He's
for.
a good midfield player, so you
Yeah.
can't take it away. I think that's 3 or 4 good signings that you've done there.
Yeah.
We've strengthened that half of the pitch now. We was all right in defence, I felt, so yeah, well done.
On to your side of things, Dad. This tactic, this season, we have changed it. We've tinkered. Of course we have. It's the Tinker Man in charge of the tactics.
That's what
You
I'm
weren't
gonna do,
expecting him to stay in the same tactic in Season 2, was you? But actually, I don't mind this at all. We've basically bumped up a midfielder into that advanced playmaker role, using Eze,
Yeah.
and we're locking in these 3 players here.
Well, you've got 3 good players in 3 good positions, so
Yeah.
that's why I've changed it, really. If you're gonna give me players that makes it sort of more attacking, I've got to go more attacking, and that's what I think you've done for me.
Yeah, absolutely. If we did best pick without 11, Morgan Giswhite goes into that role. It is a shame because he had a good season last year with 11 goals and 10 assists. But Eze, I think's
Yeah.
in the long run going to be better for
I mean,
us.
the midfield and defence, we didn't have to change it, did we?
Not at all, no.
So-
I think arguably maybe a goalkeeper might have been an option if I
Yeah.
had a little bit more money, but I used it all.
The way I always look at it, we've got a good core of a team there. Now, the next couple of seasons is when we start sort of tinker with just 1 or 2 players
Yeah.
and putting them in certain positions where you think it's just a little bit weak.
Slight improvement.
Yes.
Each time.
Yeah.
So schedule-wise then, how has this tactic played out? At the start of the season, we've lost to Southampton, which is a bad loss.
That's a bad one, yeah.
But we drew to Leicester. Again, that's not great, but it is a derby. But we beat Brighton, we beat Brentford. 2 good teams.
2 good
and
teams in
Omega
that
got
league.
4 goals in that game. So, great start from him there.
I mean, you look at all the goal scorers there, most of them are the players that you've signed.
Yeah, all of them,
Yeah.
actually, in terms of the league. Eze got 2 there, then Marcus Edwards and Omega got the 3 there, then Omega got the other 2. None of the actual original players. It's all been the new players. So I'm doing my job, by the way. Champions
So we've gotta be
League
happy with that.
phase. Yeah, let's have a look.
You're sat there in the ground like that, just smoking your cigar. aren't you?
I was. Do you know what I'm like? I'm like Austin McPhee every time Aston Villa score from a set piece. It's like that's not the manager, and he's like, yes, get in. Just makes it very apparent that
I signed him.
yeah,
I
he's the
signed him.
reason why that happened. But when they like conceive me, he's like, oh,
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you always know when they score from a set piece. Champions League fixtures then, it must be the first time Forest is in the European Cup since the years of when they were close to winning it.
I think it is. I mean, they won it 2 years in a row.
Right
So
after that was
Cloughie.
when, obviously because of the Liverpool-Juve disaster,
Got chucked out, yeah.
they got chucked out of Europe.
Europe,
So
yeah, yeah.
I don't think Forest ever went back into
No, I
Europe
don't
after
think they did.
that. Maybe in a different competition, but not in the Champions League or
Yeah.
European Cup. So this could be the first time since. Midtjylland, Celtic, Besiktas, Napoli, Leipzig, PSV, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid to end.
2 hard games there, innit, at Madrid.
I think that's doable though, don't you? Those first 6?
We could, yes.
I think, that's
we could
that's
have enough-
3 wins there, I think. We
We
should
could have enough wins, enough points in the bag to not worry about the 2 Madrid games.
I think it's set up as like easier games, mid games, the 2 difficult ones.
Yeah.
It gets harder as it goes along.
We got to win our home games.
Yeah.
Definitely there.
Well, I think there's a chance anyway to see what we can do in Europe in our first season back. But I think what's most important is that we try to keep on top of that league form. Just stay there or
Yeah.
thereabouts in those European spots. Let's see what happens. Well, 6th place which I don't think this time round will get bumped up into the Champions League spot.
No.
Like it was last year for the league phase. But Aston Villa might have won the Europa League and they've got an extra spot as well. The 3 clubs that came up went straight back down. It happens quite a lot,
It does happen quite a lot, yeah. So,
but 68 points last season, we were on 70 points. So we haven't dropped off too much considering we had to play an extra competition.
And we had a worse end of the season this time. Like we won 1 game in the last 5. So I'm going to take that. I'm pleased with that again.
Yeah, just another 10 losses.
Keeps us in Europe. So
the only difference from last season was we converted one of those draws into a win compared to where we had 7 draws last season. But 6th place, we dropped down a position, but I'm still happy. And Omega, 32 goals. He's got better than a Wonyi.
Goodbye.
It was a cracking deal, wasn't it?
Only 22 as well, so we've got him for the rest of our time, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Liverpool, by the way, are building a disgusting team because, as you can see there, Jamal Musiala has joined. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they've also got Yves Bissouma, so that's also ridiculous. But what happened? Well, Man City signed Victor Osimhen, so they now have a strike force of Victor Osimhen under Carlo Ancelotti, Victor Osimhen and Erling Haaland up front. What are we supposed to do here?
He's a god, and he just knows that
he's the absolute don.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. That's ridiculous, and yet they still can't win the league. Arne Slot's pulling off a madman here with Jamal Musiala and Salah still there. They've built a absolute baller team as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be really difficult to overthrow those 2 at the top, not to mention the other teams that are also very good in this league. But we're still sticking our nose in as Nottingham Forest with 68 points there.
Well, thereabouts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cup competitions then. How did we do in the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the League Cup? We didn't win any, unfortunately. We didn't get very far either. Knocked down the league phase.
Yeah. Said it was going to be hard, didn't it?
We only won 1 of the games, Midtjylland.
Yeah.
We drew 4.
There's the problem. I mean, 3 of them are away, so you think that's 3 good points away from home. But losing to the 2 Madrids and Leipzig. Yeah.
So that was very poor. Arsenal went on to win the Champions League as well, so miracles do happen. FA Cup, we lost that one. Man City beat Man United in the final there, but we knocked out by Manchester United in the 5th round, 3-3, and they beat us on penalties, which makes it even worse. And then 3rd round by Liverpool.
That one I'm going to take.
Yeah, that's just a bad draw.
We just spoke about how good Liverpool were, so...
And we give them a good go, 4-3.
So, yeah, not too bad, was it?
So squad-wise then, if you have a look, 41 goals in just 50 appearances.
Yeah, well, Eze got
really
14
good.
as well.
14 and 17
assists.
Marcus
2 good
Edwards had a
signings
good
there.
season. Yeah, not too bad. Our transfer budget for next season, £54 million again. So a little bit of money. Hopefully we can keep hold of those players and build upon that. But again, that's my job. So over to me. Let's see what I can do. Well, Newcastle Sport are fun. Release clauses. He had a release clause for Newcastle, which was for us, which was activated. So he actually went for roughly the same amount of money as what he came in for, which is heartbreaking.
Definitely. You want to...
You want double that after the season he had.
Well, when you see how much he's valued now at Newcastle...
At 200 million.
We wanted 80, 90 million, didn't we, really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, but hey,
that's sickening, isn't it?
These things happen in the transfer market.
Thought we had a struggle there for the rest of our challenge there.
Let's be positive. Who did I bring in instead to replace him? A man I trust. A man I've used very well recently. Youssef En-Nesyri. We got him from Fenerbahce. I don't think he's as good, but he's still a baller. He can still score goals. He's got 1 already in 3.
Yeah.
He got 15 last season at Fenerbahce, 19 the season before that. Let's focus on him and see if he can score us some goals this season round.
He's got what it takes to be a good striker, so yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, he's quick as well, isn't he? So he knows where the net is, and his composure is very good, so... Yeah, I'll take that. And he's good with both feet.
Well, what I have done, though, is strengthen the defence. £74 million and bringing in Jared Branthwaite.
Good player, this one is.
I think this as a left-footed centre-back gives us an upgrade to what we had. I mean, the defenders that we actually had were still really good. Murillo's actually fantastic at left centre-back, but Branthwaite is slightly better.
Well, this is like what I was just saying earlier, wasn't it? You're just getting 1 or 2 players in to improve what you've got, and he does that, I think.
The keeper we got for really cheap, £9 million. And he's a better goalkeeper. So Arno Tenas comes in as a Spanish goalkeeper from PSG for £9 million. We did sell a few other players. £15 million went out with the likes of Alanga, Souza, David Carmo, and Omar Richards, which allowed us to spend £15 million on Diego Lainez. Mexican left winger. He improves our left-hand side.
Yeah.
Obviously, I sold Alanga. and we brought in what I think is a better player from Mexico. Cracking player, £15 million. He got 5 goals and 8 assists last season with a really high average rating in Mexico. I remember when he was at Real Betis, and he was really touted as to be a special type of player. Never really lived up to it, went back to Mexico. I'm giving him a second chance. Let's see what he can do.
Does it.
So, Dad, you've decided to stick with what we had last season.
You haven't brought anybody in that's what I would class as a tactic changing player.
Yeah.
So, no, stick with the team. I'm
got
happy with that again. You got the boy on the left-hand side there, so he's in, your keeper's in, and your striker's in.
Yeah. So, other than the actual striker, I think we've got a better side in behind him. The 10 players behind him are a better squad.
Yep.
So, with this tactic, hopefully it's a better season. Schedule then. We've lost one to Aston Villa 2-0. Ollie Watkins got himself a brace, but we have won 2-1 in the other 2 games in the Premier League against Brighton and Bournemouth. Not too bad. 94th minute winner there from Marcus Edwards. We take them.
Yeah.
So Jared Brathwaite scored on his debut as well, as did En-Nesyri, which is always a good start for them. Europa League, as we mentioned, when we thought we were in it the first season, could be a blessing. This could be the season to win it. That would be great. We've actually got to play Olympiacos, which, funny enough, if you know Nottingham Forest recently, they're part of the same group.
Yeah, they are, yeah. The owner, isn't it?
Yeah, so that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
We're going to play around, and
Isn't that where the Arsenal director of football's going?
Yeah, to oversee all of them. Forest, Olympiacos.
That's right.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So, not to say there's going to be match fixing, but there will be match fixing.
We need 2 points at the end of the season?
Yeah.
I'll hang on.
Yeah. Nice and easy. But the rest of the fixtures we shouldn't have a problem with anyway. We should easily get through this. Sporting's going to be the only fixture giving us trouble.
I think we should be through before that last game of the season.
I agree.
Last league game.
So let's see if we can go on and lift the European trophy for Nottingham Forest for the first time in about 40 years. Well, league form, we just dropped down one each time.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Unfortunately. We had such a bad end of the season. 5 losses at the end there.
Cost us again, isn't it?
Yeah, but look what's
5
next
games.
to us, Dad. A Champions League spot, and that's because Europa League winners.
We're getting there.
European champions yet again. Nottingham Forest, Eze, Marcus Edwards, Elliot Anderson, who's still around and I forgot about, in London.
Yes,
London Stadium.
even better.
So there we go. Great win for us. 3-2. We didn't win any other cups, though. We were third round on both, which is quite poor, actually. So going back to the Premier League, En-Nesyri got 15 goals. Also, Gyökeres is now at Liverpool, so Musiala, Gyökeres, Yves Bissouma.
I tell you, looking at the league table, the thing that worries me there, goal difference for us.
Yeah.
1.
+1.
That ain't good at all, is it?
No. But 61 points, not bad. We're still, we're still there or thereabouts. We're clinging on.
You stay in this top 8 where you're getting European spots. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is the summer now where we needed a bit of a change.
Yes.
We've gone a bit stale. We've stuck with a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. Let's get crazy in the next season. We're European champions, but we've kind of not really been lighting the world on fire yet. We're not showing what Forest can do. Frankfurt won 8-8, by the way. That's unbelievable. Yeah. Well done to them, my favourite German side. We lost 2 to Olympiacos, but we had already qualified, so we were helping them out to make sure they could secure. I told you there would be match fixing, but we had already qualified. Hoffenheim was the other loss that we had, which was earlier on. We drew to Sporting and we won 5 games, which secured our spot in the top 8. Can't believe that's brilliant. Corruption going on. We got through the league phase into the round of 16. We knocked out Legia Warszawa 4-1, nice and easy. Quarter final, we knocked out Newcastle after they stole their player.
Yes, get in.
Semi-final, we knocked out Hoffenheim, who we lost in the league phase 7-3 to go on to face Marseille and beat them. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, well done.
Goals-wise, 24 for En-Nesyri. It's just the supporting cast I'm disappointed with. Eze's his little bit. 14 assists, 8 goals. We got 10 assists there from Neco Williams. But other than that, yeah, nothing too exciting, really.
Nothing brilliant, really.
And they haven't really given us much of a budget either. 27 million, but with that wage budget, really, it's only roughly about 20 to 22 million. Yeah. Maybe I'm going to have to cash in on a couple of players this summer and be a bit more of a wheeler dealer than what I was. And hopefully don't lose any of our best players. Now, as your director of football, Dad, I knew there was only one player in the world I had to make sure I signed for Nottingham Forest at some point in this rebuild, and it's Frank Kessie.
Hey, when the door opened and he come through, hello boss.
Oh, you're welcome. Great signing. Somebody's getting a Christmas bonus. Get in. It was weird when I walked in on him in the shower 2 minutes later with Dad, but that was nonetheless It was still a good signing on a free transfer, and we've only had to give him 145k as well. He started the season off well. 1 goal, 1 assist. Get in, Frank. Here he is.
Did you see one of the comments that come onto our site as well? Petition about make Omega Dad meet Frank Kessie.
Oh, surely one
If
day.
we can sort that out, I'm right up for that.
Yeah, one day. You're trying to understand what he's saying. He's trying to understand what you're saying. Yeah. He's thinking, why am I meeting this weirdo? Yeah. And I'm just in the corner
While I've got my arms around and cuddling. Frank.
Yeah. And he don't understand your relationship. But there's been some other great signings as well, and it started off actually with another free transfer of a Wonyi.
Yeah, bring a boy
We
back.
brought him back. He's absolutely terrible now. He's nowhere near the player who scored the goals that he did just 2 seasons ago. But we got him on a free transfer. He went for £36 million to Al Nassr for 1 season, got 16 goals, and then left straight away.
Yeah.
We actually signed him at the end of last season, and he's got himself back into a Forest shirt 2 seasons later, but he is terrible now. I just did it out of just being nice, really. He probably really regrets going. To be fair, he went to Saudi Arabia. Actually, yeah, he would have been taxed on that because you have to be there for a couple of years. Yeah, that was a bad move from him. I sold Elliot Anderson after he scored the winner in the Europa League.
Shame.
Well, it got him a nice deal to Wolves, so that's what I thought. He won't get any game time here. Then I also sold Callum Hudson-Odoi for £30 million. He's gone to Saudi Arabia. He won't listen to a Wonyi's advice whatsoever. And then Morgan Gibbs-White went to the same club, £47 million. 2 English players gone. So alongside that, came in 2 players from Saudi Arabia for free, so we gained £78 million but had 2 players come in. And I also signed Santiago Jimenez, another Mexican.
Yeah.
Cracking player, what a striker. £50 million, got 18 goals this last season, 19 the season before that at Feyenoord. Excited to see what he can do. And then finally Victor Gomez, a right back, comes in to replace Neco Williams or compete with Neco Williams. Yeah. Great right back, Victor Gomez. We've got 2 Spanish fullbacks now, which is interesting. They've always produced quite good fullbacks, I think. Good on the ball. Tactically, then, we needed a change as well.
Yes.
A lot of new names came in. Frank has got to play somewhere.
Oh, Frank goes straight into our midfield, doesn't he?
With the amount of midfielders that we've got and strikers that we've got 2 up top.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Frank's always going to go into my midfield there, and really. So I think that's a really strong midfield there. Going to take a lot of getting through them 3. Eze's going to be my attacking midfielder, and then the 2 strikers just talk for himself, really. So I think that's a good formation, really, for that, with Frank going out a little bit wide, because he's got a tendency of getting a couple of goals now and again for you as well.
He's got 13 finishing.
So he will score a couple of goals, but he just looks still good, doesn't he, really? I mean, it was touch and go whether you put him as a ball winger as well, because he is. That's the role I normally play him as a defensive midfielder.
But Sangari's so good.
He's so good at it. Yeah, so really, you got 2 good tacklers in the midfield. That's what I like about it as well.
Yeah.
2 solid midfielders.
Dominguez
he's
is quite
probably
good
as well, isn't he?
Yeah, 17 tackling.
Oh, there you go. My midfield
got
is absolutely
3
solid, isn't it?
horrible players to play against.
So that's why I've brought him right in close as well. So it's going to take some getting through that. And Eze, we just release him. Just let him go. You're off you go, boy, and you support the front 2.
Okay.
That's what I want him to do.
Schedule then. Let's see what's happened at the start of the season. We won the Super Cup. We've defeated Liverpool. They are not undefeatable. They are easy. They have weaknesses. We've done it. We even drew against them in the league the game before. Frank Kessie scored a penalty.
There we go.
Got a goal on his debut. There we go. Lovely stuff. Got a win against Burnley, but a loss to Villa. And a draw to Leeds is not amazing. But we are back in the Champions League, Dad. Our 4th season, and we've got European football 3 times. That's not bad at all. Ending with Barcelona. Frank Kessie back at the new... Oh, no, it's at our ground. Frank Kessie against his former club.
There's a couple of hard games there, but I think we've got to win a couple of away games there.
Yeah.
You know, I normally say you got to win your own games. Our old games are
the harder ones.
PSG and Barcelona, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've definitely got to win a couple of away games, I think, there.
Yeah. Let's see if we can do it then this 4th season at Nottingham Forest. Oh, 9th place finish.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that.
No. I've got to say, Dad, I'm doing my job. What the hell are you doing?
I can only say one thing. I'm going to take full responsibility. I picked the wrong tactic.
Well, I agree. I brought the players in for you. Sorry, boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are wrong.
Yeah, I'm disappointed with that one.
En Nassr got 14 goals. That's the only highlight in there, which is disappointing considering we also had Jimenez and, of course, Mitrovic to have no more goals coming up or no more players coming up there. Even falling behind the likes of Everton has managed to get more points than us this season. That's disappointing. Villa finishing in 2nd as well. They almost won a title. They're actually in the title race.
Oh, it's so disappointing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But what about the other cup competitions? it wasn't great there either.
I do like winning the FA Cup, and we're not getting anywhere close, really. Quarter final, Liverpool.
3-2, it's not
we
bad.
beat them at the beginning of the season, so they come back and done us, didn't they?
They got revenge on us.
Yeah.
Third round of the Carabao Cup by Bournemouth. That's not good enough at all. Round of 16
PSG.
by PSG.
Yeah.
7-0 in the second leg. We were 4-2 up.
7-0, that's just a total hammering in there. That's disgraceful. That's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Playing the knockout playoff round, we knocked out Newcastle. Again, we did well in the first leg, 4-1. We lost 3-0 in the... Well, 5-1 even. We lost 3-0 in the second leg. The league phase then. How did this play out? We finished in 21st. We lost Barcelona and Leverkusen, the German sides that we had to face. We drew to PSG there at home. That's a good result. And we won against Fenerbahce, Copenhagen and Club Brugge.
Yeah, we won our first 2 games, which we really needed to do, so it set us up quite well, really, to get us through. So,
but overall, it's
a
a poor season.
Yeah, very bad season.
Goals-wise, En-Nesyri got 20. Mitrovic got 19. That's annoying from Jimenez. I thought he would get more than that.
Yeah.
14 goals, 31 appearances is not great. Eze got 12 and 12. Does look like he's bit of an injury. Damaged cruciate ligaments in February, so he's been out quite a lot.
That was one of the players I was relying on, really.
If you look at our results, it didn't look like we missed him too much. We actually, this is where he got injured here. That was a bad month for us.
Yes.
We were then
2
knocked
wins.
out of the... Well, that's where we got through against Newcastle, but we had bad results in the Premier League, bad results in the Champions League in March. There was a couple of stinkers here as well.
Yeah.
Right, we'll have to put it behind us.
Yeah.
For the final season, which I've only got £13 million. There's a lot of assets that are worth a lot of money as well. So maybe we cash in, bring in a bit of money, and bring in some new faces to this Forest side. Another release clause activated, and it's Frank.
Well, to be honest with you,
You had a fling with him for a year.
Yeah, he likes to come back every so often, but I do sell him on as well. Real Madrid come asking, you got to let these boys go, ain't you? 61 million for a freebie.
Straight away.
You've done your job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Secure the club.
I'm a very good director of football, because I've also sold Mitrovic for 18 million back to Saudi Arabia. So, he left them on a free. Then he decided, I want more money again. So he's gone back.
You've done like £79 million worth of profit
off those 2 players. What have I done on the ins, though? I actually brought in my own free transfer again. Jackie Grealish.
Oh, that's a good freebie
at
signing.
Forest.
Oh,
I don't know why. These 2 players just seem to suit in my eyes. And only 31, free transfer. All right, let's see what we can do.
The change room is going to to be quite good now, don't you? The atmosphere in the change room is going to be absolutely brilliant.
Bit of a laugh now. It was a bit scary last year with Kessie and Mitrovic. You don't know where to look, but Jack Grealish. Let's have a laugh.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
James Maddison again.
Another one. Yeah. Another good signing as well, I think.
He cost 49 million, but he was transfer listed. I actually thought it was quite a good signing, though.
Yeah.
2 very similar players who play on the opposite sides, I think. Then we got Mateus Nunez. We needed a bit of a workhorse after Frank Kessie left. I think he does a good job in doing that.
Yeah.
Very different type of player on the ball, but the work rates and stuff, he is there. And then using that money that we had from Frank as well, I thought, right, let's bring in somebody who is really good at centre-back and right-back in Sebastian Baselli. Natural in both, can also play a left-back should we need him to, but I think he's quality.
Oh, definitely. That's a good signing.
So, £45 million.
He should go straight in, I think.
Let's have a look then, Dad. You've changed it.
Yep.
We've gone to a 4-2-3-1 again, but we've got 2 attacking midfielders. Jack Grealish on the left.
When you've got Jack Grealish and Maddison in your team, you've got to be playing that sort of formation, really, I think. So, we know what Jack's like. He will take the ball wide and come in with it on his right foot type of thing. I think Maddison is the type of player that will just find those little gaps for easy going through, late or picking the
Jimenez up.
Yeah. But your back 4 there they are. That's the whole back 4 you've purchased for me.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy with that.
And the keeper.
Yeah. And Nunes sat right in the middle. So you said, there's our workhorse. So I think that's a perfect formation for those players.
I agree.
What I always say, it's a tactical change in players.
1 player still left from the original Forest squad in the first 11. There's still a lot obviously on the bench and in and around the squad, but Danilo is still there, still a very good midfielder.
Yeah.
And Sangare, to be fair, they interchanged quite a lot, to be fair. Sangare is obviously world class in terms of our squad.
Yeah.
Schedule. Let's see. How has it been doing at the start of the season? We've lost 1 game in the Premier League.
Oh, didn't we lose it as well?
7-2 to Victor Osman and Erling Haaland.
I would say when you look at the players that scored against us as well, you think, oh well.
Yeah, fair enough. But we also drew to Tottenham, and Maddison scored.
Yeah. And they got a late goal and an own goal.
Yeah.
Jammy Spurs.
I know, right? Don't you just hate them? Sangare scored 2 at the start of the season with En-Nesyri to score. 4-4 against Beto's Everton, but we've also got a 3-2 win against Villa, who've been a bit of a bogey side for us, actually.
Yeah.
And we're through to the round of the 4th round of the Cup after beating Preston and Stoke so far.
Good
So
start.
it's a good
I think
start
that is
to the
really
season.
good
It's
start.
a promising start, and we haven't got European football to distract us. Let's get back into the European spots. For anybody on patreon.com/MakeLukeGaming, or the channel members who want to take on this Nottingham Forest save. Maybe you just want to pinch a tactic. Maybe you want to give yourself another 5 years.
Yeah, go on, take it on.
Let's see what happens. I'll tell you what will be quite funny is you just be the director of football to one of Dad's tactics, because I've left pretty much a few of them that we were playing around with already. I think that was the season 2 one. That was one we tried halfway through the season, well, at the start of the season, and it didn't work. So we went to this one.
Yeah.
So see what you can do using this tactic just by buying the players, if it works. If it doesn't, then I'd suggest not doing that. Let's simulate this season. See what happens. Final season, and we're back in the Champions League. 3rd place.
Pleased with that.
Only behind Manchester City and Liverpool.
I mean, Man City's a team that absolutely hammered us at the beginning of the season, so I'm definitely pleased with that.
The lowest amount of games lost as well. Only was 7. We drew 12, but still. Fulham, Bournemouth, Leicester. Fulham twice, in fact.
Yeah.
Southampton away. Winnable games.
Some easy winnable games there.
Yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
And we lost to Birmingham at one point. They finished bottom of the league. That's the only 2 negatives. We're in Champions League again next season, boss. We've done it. En-Nesyri got 16 goals. I'm surprised by that we got En-Nesyri and not Jimenez. Interesting. Jimenez just maybe has not worked in the Premier League.
Don't look like it, does it?
Unfortunately. Let's see then. Was there a cup competition to finish off? No. 5th round by Manchester United. Quarter-final by Arsenal.
Didn't even
Extra
get into a
time.
final.
Nice to see Argyle beat Bristol City, though. Penalties. That's positive.
We would call it a derby, wouldn't we?
Well, yeah, it's
being
still
this
even
far
got
down,
close.
this far down in the country, that's a derby for us.
Yeah, we don't count Exeter as a derby. They're too crap. Arsenal beat us 2-1 in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. That's fine. But overall, we're back in the Champions League for you guys who want to take over. And look how long we were in 3rd. The whole half of the season, we stayed in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, that's good.
17 goals from En-Nesyri, 14 from Maddison, and only 12 from Jimenez.
I mean, I'm pleased with the Maddison, 14 goals.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed with how many goals he assisted in, though.
Yeah,
only 2
assists.
That's what I put him
Not
in there
what we
for.
thought.
No.
Jack Grealish got 11, though, and 9.
Yeah.
That's the most goals and assists he's had in years.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at players that you want to cash in on, I think En-Nesyri is wanted by Bournemouth. I'd be cashing right in at 31.
I think you got it at 31, yeah.
Jack Grealish is also wanted by Saudi. If you get a couple of 60 million in there, maybe.
Yeah, it's good.
Because you haven't got any money to spend anyway.
It's going to give you nearly 100 million, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad I stopped at 5 years. I don't know what I would have done after that. Not too bad of a rebuild within 5 years. A lot of European football for Forest. Even a European trophy. It was the only trophy we got, but it was a European trophy nonetheless.
I think we've done quite well, son.
I think we did as well. If you like this partnership and you want to see more, we'll be in director of football for each other. Maybe suggest some squads that you want to see whoever be director of football of what. And of course, if you haven't done so already, make sure you check out the page.com/MakeLukeGaming or the channel members if you want early access to videos, but of course the save game file for this. And if you haven't watched Youth to Gold, I don't know what you're doing.
No.
It's the best series we've done ever, and
yeah.
yet I thought the last one was really good, the race to the Champions League. Even if you watched that and enjoyed it, you've got to be watching Youth to Gold. Episode 1 is on screen for you right now. It's easy to catch up on. We've only got a few episodes out so far, so make sure you do so immediately.